Right, I don't know what's just happened. Everything is broken. I have no idea what's going on anymore. My stream isn't working, and neither is my game. My stream just keeps buffering, and everything is broken. Right, okay, now I've been kicked out of the, oh, for God's sake. Let me... Okay, that's fine. What is actually going on? I can see chat, but I can't see what's going on because my stream isn't working. Like, it's just buffering, that's all it's doing for me. Can someone, like, put a message in and just tell me what's happening, because this is annoying. Hang on. Everyone was stand still on the grid. Are you still on the grid now, then? DNF'd. I'm hoping we get a lobby restart then. I don't know if Kieran's in chat or not, so I don't know if he can confirm that for me. But I'm literally looking at a stream that's just buffering, looking at the back of a Red Bull. Oh right, no, I drove forward and nobody moved, so I hit them. I can't even get back into the lobby. Like, it's that broken, I can't get back into the lobby. If you're still in, Greg Starts, mate, can you invite me? Or if anyone watching the stream is, that would be lovely, because this is just broken. Safety car since lap 1. Right, try and join now and hope that it works. Spectate. I'm going to reload the stream once more. I'm going to close Twitch and reload the stream. Okay, right, I can now see things. Right, so we have a safety car. Okay, here we go. Right, I think I can see everything now. Right, so we've got safety car, it's lap 2. Dalek's Eclipse. Oh, Richard's out of the pits. He's spun and collected the wall. Okay, so Richard, Dalek's Eclipse, Greg Stars and Gangster Owl are all out of the race. RSF1 Hunt has a penalty, I'm not sure what for. Drive-through. Okay, so that's speeding out a safety car, I'd imagine. Okay, so off the start, I'll try and catch up on what's happened. So Rambo's still kept the lead, Reese P2. So Reese has jumped class, Guire stayed where he is, Andrew and 5 are swapped, Adam's up a position, Taz is up 6, Brad stays where he is, Despair is P10, up 7 places, Apollo is 11th, up 8, Paperstream's down 2, Brando's up 2, Havoc's down 7. Okay. So far we have a safety car. I think from what I've been told, the rain wasn't meant to last too long. It was like 10 minutes or something like that. Apollo up into P10 as Despair pits. But this like game is beyond bad. Assuming no restart before I go. I probably wouldn't imagine so, mate. I haven't heard anything from Apollo. It's usually his call. But yeah, I have no clue what's happening this race. I've literally missed the first. I've missed the first few laps just because of I got disconnected and the game's being really annoying. I honestly have no clue what's going on. I think Apollo's streaming and hosting at the same time. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'll have to ask him if he streamed last week and the week before. Because if it's streaming and racing and that breaks the lobby, then that needs to be stopped. Like from the lobby host at least. I haven't noticed any other issues like anyone else. Because obviously I'm streaming it because I'm the spectator, and then anyone, I think Brando's streaming, Pete usually streams. Tazonic I think has done it a couple of times. Like there's a few people that do, but I don't know if that's going to affect it or anyway. But safety car is in this lap, so this is the first racing lap I'll get to see. I'm going to imagine there was pretty much a safety car immediately, is my guess, I suppose. But Rambo will be leading us away under this under the soggy streets of Singapore. But yeah, the Red Bull will be setting the pace with the safety car coming in this lap. It's got to wait until the safety car is in the pits before we can go, and then everyone else will try and follow. I'm hoping we don't have the safety car glitch. Like, please don't. But here we go then. We're getting ready. Reese really ready to pounce at the moment on Rambo. I think Rambo's going to go pretty much now at this last corner. No, leaves it very late indeed. As I think Allied Squire's gone for a bit of a spin. He has. He's got no front wing. Oh, as Apollo goes for a spin as well. It's that's both the Williams out, or pretty much out of contention at the very opening stage of this safety car restart. Paperstream goes for a spin. Both AlphaTauris got past Havoc. Tazonic has got past 5 Crown as well, side by side into turn 5 here. A little bit of contact between the two, maybe. I think they've got away with it though. Tazonic up into P5. Andrew up into P4 as well, but Rambo currently holding the lead from Reese, then Clark, Andrew, Tazonic, 5 Crown, Bradford, and then the two AlphaTauris, Despair, Brando. Oh, that's off track there for Tazonic. That's going to allow 5 back round the outside into turn number 8. Not quite goes for the switchback though, does 5. Going into turn 9, that's not really a place you can overtake, but I think 5's going to definitely try. Don't think he hasn't got the run though. Taz has just covered him off very nicely indeed. But Clark goes for the move here before the Anderson Bridge, side by side. Maybe a tiny bit of contact there between the two. But that's Clark still in P3 then. Tried a very audacious move. I think it's not really paid off for him. I don't think he's got damage or anything from it. but Reese currently holding on to P3. Tazolink and 5 having a little battle as well, but yeah, the two Williams, an absolute disaster, both of them without front wings. RSF on Hunt as well, quite far down after 7 minutes drive-through. Penalty, Allied Squire is in the wall at turn number 14. Is that going to be another safety car? I would imagine so. It's a very dangerous location that he has binned it. Hunt keeping the well out of the way. Hopefully Apollo will do the same. He does so indeed. Although the car disappears. No safety car then. I guess pretty close to another one, but then again, I would imagine that would have been there fine. But the rain looks like it's getting a little bit lighter at the moment. Squire has left the session as after his DNF. After that spin of the safety car restart, just lost his front wing and trying to trundle round to get back to the pits, put on another set of tyres. Locked up and went into the wall. It's unfortunate. So we've lost 6 now. 13 remain, lap 5 of 31. This very long, grueling circuit is Singapore. Reese isn't in the session. I'm well aware. He has been saying that he's... not Reese, Havoc, sorry. Isn't in the session. I know Reese is in the session because he's currently battling Clark. But, yeah, I know Havoc isn't in the session because he's been saying throughout the chat, from what I've been able to see of just that, that he's not here. And he can't get back in, unfortunately. But the rain has pretty much gone immediately. That's very Singapore. The rain just disappears for literally no reason, although now it's back in this sector by the looks of it, so well, I think it's just because Alfie is... Oh no, there's definitely droplets at least, so maybe it's just not raining in one part of the circuit as Brando gets past. Oh, Despair and Brad might have had a collision here. They're both without a front wing as Clark goes for a move. Has Reese made a mistake or something? I missed that because I was looking at Bradford and Despair not having front wings, but Clark back up into where he started in P2. Now he can chase off the Rambo, try and regain. Well, I say regain, try and challenge for P1 as it's fast up the race. Bradford is out of the session. That's going to be, yeah, that's going to be another safety car then. I'm probably going to see a few people make a call. As Paperstream has a puncher, driven over a bit of debris perhaps. But if I was to spare Paperstream, well, they definitely would be anyway. If I was any of these guys, I would pit for a set of dries. You've not really got anything to lose because it looks like it's stopped raining, but it is very slippery, so you're going to be very bold indeed. Intermediates for Despair as Julian's car trundles down the pit lane about half the speed it should. It's medium tyres for RSF on Hunt. He has taken the plunge very early indeed. He's going to catch back up to the Haas as he pulls into his pit box, so he's fine. But intermediate tyres going on to Paperstream's car. So Adam, or RSF on Hunt, the only guy to blink first and chuck on the slicks. I agree with you there, Pog. You're under safety car conditions. You're going to have 3 laps for the rain to kind of dissipate. Obviously, you might not get temperature into the tyres initially, but you're going to have a bit of time for the tyres to kind of rubber in a little bit more. But look how dry it is in the first sector. There's a little bit of like wet patches offline. But I think RSF on Hunt, if this works out, might have made a blinding strategy call here. Please don't get that close to the wall when you're swerving, Adam. That's not the one. But now down to 12 runners from 19. 6 laps into this race. Might have another Australia on our hands here, where not a lot of people finish. Let's see if anyone takes the plunge then. Rambo does, Clark does, Reese does, Andrew, sorry, does, Tazonic does, 5 does. I could pretty much say everyone is. but I think Hunt might be a little bit too far behind to kind of reap the benefits of this then. That's pretty unfortunate for him then. That would have been a blinding strategy call if I got that right, but medium tyres going on for Rambo, Clark and Reese. Andrew as well, Tazonic, 5. Brando on the hards, he's going to the end of the race. Hard tyres for the Mercedes Havoc as well, or with AI at least. And then just Despair. Despair, Paper Stream and Apollo left to come off their intermediate tyres. Adam will at least get elevated to P9 ahead of Despair because of this this strategy call at least, so he's gained a position. But up into P9 goes the McLaren. Safety car Q then. Let's have a quick look up the top, but look how quickly it's just dried out. But this safety car has definitely kind of played a hand in... Well, not played a hand, but it's definitely gone against Hunt here. He probably could have had a bit more time gain if there wasn't a safety car. Probably could have gained a few more positions, but he's just got to get onto the back of the queue, which he will do probably quite shortly. As you have Paper Stream and Apollo coming out the pits now. There's a long way to go for those guys to catch back up to the pack. But Apollo coming out of the pits now in the Williams, hoping to score some points. He is the sole Williams driver in this race, even if Allied Squire was still in. Squire is still a reserve, and at the moment, I believe our rule is points don't go to any team. I'll have to get that confirmed after the race, but I'm 99% sure reserve don't get constructors points, but they do get their own on their own little section of the table, at least just below everyone else. But Rambo will be leading us away when the safety car comes in, probably another lap before it does so. There's Brando. Oh, Brando pits. He's gone for. He went for the hards, maybe regretting the choice and going to the mediums. Yes, indeed. So while he's under safety car, he might as well fix that. Go onto a set of mediums and into P10, or down into P10 at least. But he's not going to lose too much. Paper Stream is still a fair way behind, as is Apollo. They're definitely slowly closing back up. It's a very interesting helmet design from Apollo. You got the metallic green, and then a kind of like normal glossy yellow. Kieran's favourite football team being Norwich. I'd imagine that's the inspiration for that helmet. Fair enough, I suppose. It looks pretty good. I rate the helmet choice. I run the same one. I run black instead of green, and then purple instead of, well, red and purple instead of the kind of metallic yellow that Apollo is running. The kind of gold accent and the yellow flaking, I suppose, or the other way around. It's enough talk about people's helmets. That sounded really wrong. Don't clip that, please. That's my career pretty much over at this point. I've got SRL completely banned off Twitch, lads. I do apologise. We've now gone R-rated. But still waiting for the safety car to come in, so I'm kind of just buying time at the moment. Not a whole lot to talk about right now. There we go. That's a very late call. The safety car has got a big habit of doing that. It's not very nice, just calling it in like a corner or two before like, actually comes in. It's just stupid. But everyone hoping they got their tyres up to a decent enough temperature to get the most of the safety car restart then. We're going to be going on to lap 9 of 31. Rambo's gone. And Reese has had a bit of a struggle. That's going to allow Andrew through into turn 1. The Alpine makes the move. And up into P3 for the podium position goes the Alpine, but Rambo getting a pretty decent restart. But Clar trying to stick with him at least. That's all he really needs to do at this current moment in time. There you go, got there in the end. But RSF on Hunt side by side with Havoc. Oh, the AI kind of comes across him there, because that is an AI, that's not actually Havoc Racing. Despair just sends it on the AI. Kind of barges it out of the way. Hunt then follows suit, back up into P8. But Brando's going to be looking to try and get this AI dealt with ASAP. Oh my god, the squeeze from the AI. These AI are treacherous, lads. He actually just wants to end everyone's life at the moment. Havoc's AI just can't be stopped right now. Send it, Brando, down the inside. Not quite close enough. Despair is on the back of 5. No, not quite. Brando on the back of Havoc's AI. Just send it down the inside. He's going to break early. So just send it, mate. There you go. Lovely. Get the traction on him. Done. Sorted. Up into P9 then for the AlphaTauri, while the other AlphaTauri is siding up a move on the Aston Martin for P6 at the moment. 5 Crown losing a position to Tazonic after his amazing start, but Rambo setting the pace, fastest lap of the race. The front two pretty much gone at the moment. Reese closing in on Andrew here, trying to regain his podium position. It's not quite close enough at this current moment in time, but Tazonic looming in the mirrors. We have Havoc. Oh no, we have RSF on Hunt, sorry. It's gone for a bit of a spin. Not entirely sure. He might have got on the curb and spun. A feeling that's all too familiar. But Reese not quite close enough yet to send a lunge on Andrew. Probably going to wait till the DRS. But Apollo and Apollo and Havoc, sorry. The AI that is out for blood won't be claiming the Williams today. SRL Apollo up into the points at this current moment in time, just hoping to try and stay there for the rest of the race at least, and pick up at least a point for Williams. We'll move them ahead of McLaren, as McLaren don't have any points, as Despair tries to send it down the inside of the chicane. It's a bit of an audacious move. Wasn't exactly on. Tazonic and Reese not quite enough there. Ran out straight pretty much, did Tazonic. And Clara is also pretty much on the back of Rambo at this point as well, but we've got one more lap until DRS is enabled, or at the end of this lap, should I say, going on to lap 11. We will have the DRS, the drag reduction system, the big letterbox in the rear wing. Has an incident. That's RSF on Hunt, and he's gone straight on at turn 14. Got going again though. There you go, DRS enabled. Class, it's the fastest lap of the race. He's on an absolute mission right now to regain this race win and take the lead in the championship. Touches the curb and almost spins, but well held indeed from Clar. Reese has gone for a spin. I think he might have touched the curb, the infamous curb of death, at turn number 2. But, the tyres are going to be absolutely cooked. Just be careful when you're rejoining the track. But, trying to get the bearings again. Where are we? There we are. Clark still on the back right now. Let's get the tyre indication up, even though everyone's on mediums, aside from Havoc. Havoc's AI. But Rambo currently defending very well indeed from the Ferrari. Hog almost did a U-bend. Thank you for that. I didn't really need reminding of that, but thank you anyway. Much appreciated. Clar then with the DRS. Not quite a good enough run out of the hairpin of turn 13 to send a move to 14. But I suppose the consolidation there, at least with that Hog, my friend, is at least it's not only me. So it's not only a me thing. That's what I can take from that. everyone else loves to die at that corner by the looks of it as well, but Clar is very close indeed to the back of the Red Bull, under huge pressure right now. Lap 12 of 31, 20 laps now remain of the Singapore Grand Prix. It's going to feel like an absolute eternity for these drivers, such a long circuit, and it's just such a physical one as well. Even in league racing, it's pretty damn physical, especially when you're on a wheel, and definitely no Pod can vouch for me on that one in the old VDR days. 100% races around here are just not the one, but right now in this 50%, Clar down the inside into turn 8, Rambo defends nicely round the outside, gets the bit of a squeeze on the exit there now down to turn number 8. Clar is pretty vulnerable, can't really defend there from Rambo, just sends it back up the inside. And up into back down into P2, should I say, is the Ferrari. But what a lovely little battle. These two are currently having a bit of a train at the moment, forming behind Andrew. We have Tazonic 5 Crown and Despair on the back of it. Despair with a penalty at the moment. I believe he got that for avoiding Reese. But Apollo as well, closing in on the back of Paper Stream for P8. But trying to keep an eye on all these battles going on right now. Quite hard to do. It's running well with Clar for this moment in time. But yeah, 62 laps of this circuit are definitely not the one. It's hard enough doing 31 at times, but 62 is definitely not the one. Even Spa as well, even though it's 44 laps, it's just such a long circuit. Oh, that's a bit of a rear end loss for Clar. Is that going to be damage? I don't think so. It doesn't look like he's under... Oh, it does look like a huge amount of understeer. That could be a huge amount of damage. That car definitely understeering a lot more now. But that could play a huge factor in later on in this race. Just look how much the Ferrari's now washing wide. He's going to have DRS, going to use a little bit of overtake, going to be able to keep with Rambo for the moment in time, but we'll have to wait and see how this actually ends up playing out, because that damage could definitely hurt Clar here. Because at the moment he is set, well, I guess regardless of what happens, as long as he scores 2 points, which is P9 or P10 with fastest lap, he takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. With Reese currently in P11, but I know Reese is definitely going to be pushing hard. He's got an AI in front of him, it's like 60 something difficulty. So he's basically P10 anyway. I think Hunt and Reese will be elevated a position with Havoc not being in the race. But I wonder if Alfie's going to pit. You could just bite the bullet, pit now, and go for another set of mediums to the end, just try and keep it in the centre of the circuit. Alfie definitely has the pace to try and catch back up, or even just try and undercut Rambo, because the undercut round here is very powerful indeed. But, because this front wing damage could definitely come back to bite him if it doesn't get sorted soon. Have a look and see what he does out of this corner here. Stays out, so he's going to just try and live with it, just turning in maybe a bit earlier, scrubbing off a bit more speed. It's great adaptability from Clar at this current moment in time. Tazonic not quite close enough to make a move on Andrew, although 5 Crown closing in on Taz though. Not quite close enough. What about Clar? 4/10, DRS open. The yellow flag. Oh, Apollo is out at the last corner. He's gone for a spin. Might have clipped the curb and just spun round, but that's Apollo's chances of points gone. And that means anyone that finishes will get points, discounting Havoc. But it's only Sector 1 yellows then, so that's not going to be a safety car. Reese on the back of Havoc's AI. Oh my god, that's a bit of a... Oh no, there you go, safety car has now been deployed. That was a very late call for the safety car, but that is safety car then number 3. And I can hear the audio's crackling a little bit on the stream. I'm hoping that'll sort itself out in just a moment's time. But Apollo was definitely on course for some points there at least, and just a slight mistake has thrown it away for him. That's unfortunate. Probably going to see a lot of people pick. Clark actually stays out, even though I believe he's got front wing damage. So he's valuing track position. Rather than fresh tyres, Rambo pits for the softs. He's definitely going to have to stop again then. But that then means Clark leads from Andrew, Tazonic in 3rd, 5 and 4th, Spare 5th, Rambo down into 6th now, Brando pits as well, another set of medium tyres going on to the Avatari. Paperstream stays out, Havoc, his AI might pit. Nope, his AI stays out because he's on hards. Reese pits. What about Hunt? Hunt's on hards, he could go to the end of the race, although I wouldn't overly advise being on those tyres. They are not overly the one, I suppose. As Reese says in chat, well, that was an interesting stint. It was definitely interesting, but so far... Well, this is definitely going to help the recovery mission for you here, Reese. But Brando up into 8th. I'm just trying to work out. Okay, so Rambo is the highest placed driver on new tyres. He's on softs. Everyone ahead of him pit under the first safety car when it transitioned from wet to dry. Brando is on mediums. He can definitely go. Brando can definitely go to the end. Brando is in a very good position at this current moment in time, as long as there isn't another safety car. Havoc's AI is just absolutely chilling right now. Reese P10 at the moment on fresh tyres. Hunt didn't decide to pit. But I'm just very puzzled as to why Clark didn't, because I believe he does have damage. That car did not look as planted as it was before. It just looked like a bucket load of understeer after he hit that wall. So he's definitely got like the little lime green damage or something. But as I said, it's brilliant adaptability from Clark to just be able to drive with that little shiver of front wing, or sliver, sorry, of front wing damage. Paperstream comes into the pits, so that elevates Brando up into P7. But that's just a very interesting call from Clark. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out for him, but yeah, I just don't know what to make of that, to be perfectly honest. Here we go. Here's the weekly message. Come on then, Kieran. Here's the weekly message. You actually give up. So, okay, you haven't finished the first 3 races. Australia was an absolute fuckfest regardless. Japan was just a lap 1 incident, and this was just a mistake. I'm assuming. Like, I'm assuming you got on the curb and spun, or maybe went a bit too wide or something. But a slight mistake. There's no point. There is literally no point. There's 12 races left. Well, I guess 11 for you because you're not racing Monaco, as we're doing a little bit of a switcheroo. But you've got 11 races left. I'm sure there's going to be a few more tracks coming up that are going to be a bit more your taste. You have Baku next, which is probably just going to be another one of these. It's going to just be a race of attrition. Then you've got, what, Imola? Imola's usually a race of attrition. Because Imola is a quite hard circuit to get right. Then you got, what, Portugal? That's another one. But then you have a bit of a mid portion of the season where you have tracks like Britain, Austria, where you just don't need to be that fast. Or even then, any of these as well. Literally any of these, you don't need to be that fast. All you need to do, put a bit more practice in, refine your setup properly rather than just being like, oh, it's decent, that'll do. Or it's like, oh yeah, I'll just live with it, even though you know it's fully horrendous or something, you know. Prepare a few days in advance. I'll even practice with you. I will practice with you. I have no reason to play this game. I will take time out of my day to help you practice. Whenever I'm not at work, or whenever I'm not doing anything, I'll spend a couple of hours with you, helping you make a good setup, giving you a few pointers, and just seeing if we can improve your consistency a little bit. And oh, Taz has gone for a spin. But after a handful of bad races, there's no point in giving up. When there's still stuff to fight for, and you're like, oh, I can't be arsed, I can't do this, I can't do that, then there's no point in doing it. This is what I said to you when we did have this conversation before you started racing. Don't expect anything of yourself, just race, have a bit of fun, do a bit of practice. You haven't been able to race in your own league, aside from a couple of little one-offs on F1 2020. But you've got a full season here, barring Monaco, of course. Just stop having your expectations too high. If you're always like, oh yeah, I've got to get points, I've got to get top 5, I've got to get a win, or something like that. If you're expecting too much of yourself, of course you're going to fuck up. That's what I did at the last portion of RF1. I expected way too much of myself because I had to get those results to stay in the title fight. And that's when I made mistakes. And then when I didn't care, at Japan, I ran away. Just stop caring, mate. That's all you got to do. Just stop caring, and I will help you practice. I'll make that a promise. I don't break promises. But back to the race. Here we go then. Clara's gone. Oh, that's very wide from Andrew, though. 5 has not got a best of restarts either. Despair going to look down the inside of turn 1 here. So it sends it on 5 crown. Move, I wouldn't say it's on. There's not really a lot of space there. Rambo coming out of nowhere as well on those soft tyres. Around the outside of Despair, at least, at the at turn 3. He's going to send it down the inside of 5 crown as well. Yes, he is. Just completely sends it on the Aston Martin. Pretty much barges him out of the way. Or it could be 3 wide here. But Despair sends it down the inside. Oh, that's contact, and that's 2 people round. That's Despair and 5 round. That's also contact to Havoc's AI. But that's huge contact between a lot of people now. Tazonic getting caught up in that. Maybe Reese as well. Oh, that was a very, very audacious. 3 wide was definitely not on into that corner. That was... I think I got a pretty decent view of it, so I can go back and clip that. Unless anyone else would like to as well. There's a lot of people watching the stream currently. But that didn't seem on. 3 wide. You better go 2 wide at this circuit at the best of times. But Rambo on the back of Andrew right now. Andrew definitely doesn't make his life difficult. No need. You're on brand new softs compared to medium tyres. Despair getting past Havoc's AI back up into the top 10. I don't know why I can hear a little bit of crackling. I'm hoping it doesn't get too bad, because otherwise I'll have to dashboard the stream again. I'll keep an ear out for it, and if it gets really bad, I'll do my best to quickly sort it. so bad. Right, please be fixed now. Oh, if Reese has gone round. I think he might have got clipped on someone there, I'm not entirely sure. Right, there we go. I can't hear it anymore, I think it's fixed. But yeah, that sound, Apollo, is what I was... Oh, Adam clouts the wall. That sound is what happened for basically the entirety of the first 2 laps of Japan, and I don't know why it's happening. I might need to get a new headset. So when I get paid in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to get a new headset, and hopefully that'll fix it. This is a brand new controller as well, which is really annoying, but... Rambo on the back of Clar here. Clar's going to be a sitting duck. Oh, that's a bucket load of understeer for Clar. Rambo's going to definitely sense an opportunity here out of the last corner. Basically pushing the Ferrari round. A little bit wayward as well. But nothing Clar can really do here. The Red Bull sails on past Clar, not making that difficult at all. But those softs are not going to last much longer, I don't think. So Clar playing the strategic game. As RSF1 Hunt pits. Reese up into P7 after his little spin. I don't know if he got tagged on anyone, but Brando on Andrew. These two have a bit of history in this league already, literally from the first race before the one that got rerun. But Clar had a little look as well on the minimap, but couldn't quite make the most of it. Brando still currently behind Andrew on the much fresher tyres, but Andrew's definitely going to try and defend, give his team, well, I guess it's like, I think they're in the same like team, like esports team, whatever, GRT. So is his fellow colleague, should we say. Going to try and give him a bit of breathing space at the back end of this race and try and maximise or minimise the time that Rambo might have to make up when he hits again, probably for another set of softs. But Brando can't currently find a way through. This is currently the only battle happening on track. Clara's dropped out of DRS of Rambo. It's nothing to do with your headset, it's an Xbox Parties issue. To be fair, I've only found this an issue as well on that as well. I've only found it an issue when I'm streaming, like through Twitch. So I think it's Twitch and Xbox Parties, they just don't work. I'll try and sort out like the bitrate or some of the settings on Twitch and see if anything there fixes it. If not, then I'll just try and keep it to a minimum best I can, and it might just mean I'll have to kind of pause the stream every now and then. But Brando going for a move on Andrew here. Pretty much going to sail past into turn 1. The Alpine tries to brake later. Bit of a squeeze from the AlphaTauri. But up into P3 for Brando so far. But Clara as well has got back within DRS of Rambo. Maybe he's had a slight little mistake somewhere. Those softs definitely graining a little bit. But I could definitely picture Clar pitting for a set of softs soon as well, so he's definitely going to go for a bit of a sprint at the end. But he just loses so much in the middle sector, look, compared to Rambo. So definitely in the middle he loses it, but Reese on the back of Tazonic now. Tazonic does have a penalty. Disperse its fastest lap of the race after pitting for softs. 5 as well down in P9 after their little misdemeanors earlier with that incident into turn 8. But Tazonic, such better drive through there, even on much older tyres. Absolutely through the car through that section. But Reese definitely closing to the back of the Ferrari now. Reese having a lot of battles with the senior team, so you call it, the 2 Italian outfits. Both powered by the same engine, both having the same colour on the car at least, for whatever varying percentage. But Reese battling Clara a fair bit at the beginning, and now he's battling Tazonic, so definitely taking the fight to Ferrari. Currently this season is the sole Alfa Romeo driver, with Daleks currently being out of the race. But Reese doing wonders so far this season, very, very impressive from the Alfa Romeo. but not quite. Might not be close enough at the moment. Clar's still not close enough. They've kind of gone through this section anyway. But here we go, Reese with ERS and the DRS wide open. Don't think he's close enough for a move just yet into turn 7, unless he absolutely sends it, which he does. Tazonic sees it coming. Pretty much moves out of the way to avoid all the contact. Reese down the inside, then into P6 on his recovery drive. Back up the field. But very good move there from Reese. So Clark still on the back at the moment, hanging on very impressively to Rambo. Those soft tyres definitely going to degrade a bit more. Oh, Tazonic. Oh, Reese has got damage, just reversed into the wall. That's not going to do his rear wing any good. The jiggle of the wheel in frustration. He might have rear wing and or diffuser damage from that. Wouldn't surprise me if he did. That reverse into the wall. After just overtaking Tads with a really good move. Spun again, really struggling out there at Singapore is Reese, just after giving him credit. But hopefully he'll stay in the race, get some points at least, limit the damage to Clar, who at the moment will definitely take the lead of the Drivers' Championship. He's currently on course for 12 points. RSF on Hunt gets the fastest lap, gets a penalty, sorry. I was about to say Despair has the fastest lap, so Clar will only have 12, not 13, with the new point system. Just for anyone new, I guess, we have a new point system. I'll try and run through it off the top of my head. P1 is 15 points, P2 is 12, P3 is 10, P4 is 8, P5 is 6. And then I think it's 4, 3, 2... No, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for P10. Oh, that's rain, I've just noticed. I've just noticed on the droplets on the AlphaTauri, rain has well and truly returned. So that definitely explains why Rambo's gone for the softs, and also why Claris decided to stick it out. It's going to go to this rain period, get the front wing changed. But we'll have to see. Andrew's tyres looking a bit degraded, because just seen as well from the eagle-eyed Apollo in chat, Paperstream is catching him currently for P4, completely on merit as well. He's definitely catching him through the middle sector at least. We'll have to wait and see how this ends in like the last couple of sectors. Pulling away a little bit now is the Alpine, but Paperstream definitely on a good one so far. But Rambo's made some kind of mistake or something. His tyres maybe starting to burn out a little bit. Clara's right on the back of him now. Not close enough for a move into turn 1. Rambo picks up a penalty. That's going to be huge later in this race. Oh, wayward goes the Red Bull. The Ferrari's going to see that opportunity and open the door. But the Red Bull firmly shuts it. Now DRS, probably going to be the last couple of times we can see the DRS flap open for the rest of the race. It will probably also mean that Despair is going to keep his fastest lap. Rambo squeezing the Ferrari down the inside into turn number 7. Tries to hang it round the outside though, off track. And down the inside, keeps it and goes straight into the wall. And Clar spun as well, just a good measure. That's both of them with that front wing. Brando's going to... Oh, Clara's retired. That's on track as well. Because his car is now back and moving. So that's an on-track retirement. That's 10 seconds going Clar's way then. That's he should know better from that. But all that means, Brando is now up into P2, net race winner at this current moment in time. Babestream's in the podium as well. So we have Andrew, Tazonic, 5 and Despair, all on the intermediate tyres. RSF on Hunt staying out. Might have missed the pit lane or something, but here comes the Mercedes crew. With one of the most cursed strategies I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Onto another set of mediums. But I really don't understand why Clar's just retired on track. Rambo, yes, took himself out of the... Like, it did take himself out, outbroke himself. And probably took him with him. That was a very peculiar incident, but it still doesn't excuse retiring on track. Like, retiring and resetting is like big no-nos because we don't use ghosting. So someone could have driven into the back of his car if that was racing conditions. And they could have been out as well, but you know, I guess you make your own choices. Clark will be receiving a penalty for that. Paperstream, everyone now on the intermediate tyres. Andrew will gain 2 positions back up into the podium for him then. It will be just behind his inter-team teammate, I suppose. P2, Brando, all he really has to do is try and hold on here for the last probably 6 or something laps. Try and work out. It's currently 7 laps to go. Safety car will be in. That will become 6 if it comes in this lap, which I don't think it will. The field's too spread out. I think we're going to have a 5 lap. We're going to have a bit of a 5 lap sprint. But everyone above Havoc will be scoring points, although Havoc is in the race. That's his AI, who is an absolute madman. He's not only almost tried to kill Brando, he's now put dries on a wet circuit. But this AI just doesn't care. Comes into the pits now, there you go, for the Inters, hopefully, unless he wants to decide to not use wet tyres or Inters. No, there you go, Greenwald intermediate tyres. Going on to the Mercedes, but yeah, Rambo has lost out to Brando Apollo because he had no front wing after the contact with the barrier. And in turn, Clara, I guess. But yeah, he had front wing change, so that's why he's now down in P2. But this is, as you say, Pog, this is definitely Brando's race to lose right now. But it's just, will he have the pace to keep these guys behind? He doesn't have to do it for long, mind you. About 5 or 6 laps. Well, it's going to be 5 laps at this current moment in time. Paperstream is still on course for a podium, so there is no need to panic at the moment, lads, although he has a lot of fast people pretty much right behind him. We've lost about half the grid then, well maybe just over if you count Havoc. We've lost 10, 9 left in the race, with 5 laps pretty much left to go of this Singapore Grand Prix. Been another treacherous one. I guess to be fair, all 3 of our races have been pretty treacherous. But to be fair, it's not been absolutely horrendous as it's sometimes made out to be in the chat. It's like with all the feedback, we'll call it, that we get for sim damage. But to be honest, I don't see any reason why it's not working. Well, it's kind of working. Some drivers aren't having the incentive to still think that their car is made out of concrete. Well, or to not think their car is made out of concrete, but rather carbon fibre. But yeah, that's just kind of how it goes, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll definitely see what happens in the last few stages of this race. But in other news, Reese will extend his lead. Currently, at the moment, on course to score 15, 12, 10, 8, 6 to 8 points. Because he's scoring 6. So yeah, it will be, as he's scoring 6, he will get 8 points lead over. Or has Rambo just gone for a spin? Don't know if that's going to be front wing damage for him, but maybe just going for a spin. But that's dropped him right down the order, down to P8. 5-second time penalty for 5 for ignoring yellow flags. I think there's... Okay, so I think Rambo's spun. 5 has, within his right, overtaken him because he has spun. Paper Stream's pit for some reason. And 5 has been penalised for it. Okay. But that's definitely not fair. See, there you go, 5, if you're still watching the stream or listening to the stream while you race, that is a penalty that can get removed. Because you did, in fact, do absolutely nothing wrong that time. So I'll discount when I'm kind of watching these results then, I suppose. Discounting 5's penalty. And we'll kind of go from there. Lap 27 of 31, so the safety car will most likely be in this lap, even though we're still waiting for Havoc's AI and Paper Stream now, because I don't know why Paper Stream is pit. I guess he's just kind of getting out of the way of everyone. He's still going to jump all the way back up to P5, discounting 5's penalty. So it's definitely all not over for him, and then other people could definitely pick up penalties and incidents and all kinds of wondrous things in this Singapore Grand Prix circuit for round 3 of SRL here. But let's have a quick look then. Okay, 90% is lap 28, so the first racing lap after the safety car then, I believe, is going to then be 90%, so anyone that makes it past this lap. Yeah, there you go, safety car in this lap, so once we all cross the line, anyone that even crashes will still be classified. Okay, incentive to get good. Yes, I do agree. I have put that in chat as well, although usual antics happen after that. For Reese for the dub. He's definitely got it. Definitely possible. He's only got Andrew and Brando. Brando as well has a little bit less pressure now because Rambo is so far down the order, even though he had a penalty anyway. But Brando is definitely a lot more to the pace of the likes of Andrew and Reese. So all he has to do, keep it within a straight line, and there you go. So the man that said he probably wouldn't even finish this race is currently on course to win it. Backing right off at the moment, allowing the safety car plenty of time to come into the pits. And I think he's gone now then just before the last corner, looking back with a little bit of rear end loss, but I think he's got away with it. And he absolutely goes. Lap 28 of 31 then. The little sprint race at the end of this race is Rambo already past Despair, literally on the safety car restart. Maybe a bit of a sluggish one from the other AlphaTauri, while the other one still retains the lead. But Rambo currently on the back of 5 Crown at the moment. But 5 has a bit of a rear end wiggle. That's going to allow the AlphaTauri to get past, and also the AlphaTauri of... or the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri to get past. It's also maybe under threat from RSF on Hunt, but just remember he does not have that penalty. So he's still technically ahead of those two that have just passed him, as long as he maintains the decent gap that he needs, which I believe is 3 seconds for the pair of them. Let's have a quick look. Yes, it is. But Brando so far pulled 1 second out on Andrew here. Reese currently in P3, sorry, chasing him down. We'll have to see if Reese can go for this move, extend his championship lead a little bit more, but now 10 points going Reese's way. So with those 10 points, it's now a 12-point lead over Clark. So that's almost in window of a race win. There's currently a P2 finish, but if he gets 3 more points, which he'll get, I mean, if he wins the race, he'll only get 2 more points if he passes Andrew. But he's definitely going to improve his lead nonetheless. But Brando absolutely flying out in front at this current moment in time. To Sonic and Reese, a little bit of a train forming behind Andrew here. 2 seconds is the gap to Brando now, but he's kind of dropping away a lot. But this is all this is doing is giving Brando that confidence boost to just keep it out in front. That's all he needs to do. And this race is definitely as good as his. 3 to go now then, until this race in Singapore is over. But Rambo right on the back of Tazonic, a little bit of rear end wiggle touching the curb there. 5 starting to fall back a little bit from the guys in front of him. Rambo on the back of Tazonic now. This will be for position for Rambo. He will get up into P4, providing he can get this move done. As they both have penalties. Rambo runs a little bit wide, picks up another penalty, so that's going to pretty much throw it away, but sends it down the inside of Tazonic. Tazonic sees him coming, leaves the door wide open for him. Despair gets a little bit wayward. Rambo tries to go around the outside of the Ferrari there. Decent wheel-to-wheel respect then, as Rambo squeezes Taz to the apex just for the Singapore sling and goes through up into P4, but now he will have to pull 3 seconds on him, because he also has another penalty now. But Brando could even get one himself and still win the race now. 3 seconds is the gap to the rest of the field, but Brando absolutely on fire at the moment. 15 points could well and truly be coming his way at the end of this last 2.5 laps of the Singapore Grand Prix. But Despair, Taz, Rambo and Reese all kind of little conga behind Andrew at this current moment in time. Andrew gets a little bit wayward. That's going to give Reese a bit of incentive. Had a little look before the bridge. That would have been a very audacious move had gone for that. But keeps it behind, the sensible thing to do at this current moment in time. There will not be any DRS whatsoever. This rain looks absolutely treacherous at the moment. Might not even be too long until maybe you see someone try and gamble wets, but I don't think there's going to be enough left in the race. But Rambo passed Reese on track at least, but will definitely lose out at the back end of this race. Reese down into P4 now, but those 6 seconds of penalties not going to do him any wonders at all. It's 5 Crown currently sitting in P7 just behind Despair. There's still this little bit of a conga behind Andrew. Rambo not overly catching him at this current moment in time, but that rain is definitely getting heavier. And Brando absolutely waltzing away with this at the moment. 4.1 seconds is now the gap. He really does not have to push. Just keep it in the centre of the circuit. Brando equals wet weather god. I couldn't agree more at that statement at this moment. That Brando in the wet is definitely the Swole Doge meme right now. Reese covers off Tazonic. I don't think the move was really on there in the first place. A little bit needless defending, but Reese just trying to keep that position well and truly his own. Bradford leaves the session. He's waited a fair while to do that, but Taz into the back of Reese. Front wing damage as well. That's really going to hurt. That's onto the last lap of the race as well, but all he needs to do is just try and keep these positions for the last lap. But he just needs to keep it on the island at the moment. Understeers wide, could allow Despair through. It does. He lifts off, lets them through. No need to fight them. He's got the front wing damage now. Really unfortunate for Taz. Just a slight little tap of the rear of Reese, and that is really bad for him then. It's Reese currently right behind Rambo. 5 is currently on course for P4, Hog, at the current moment in time, unless anyone in the top 3, well, Reese kind of picks up a penalty really, but Rambo has dropped back a lot from Andrew. We're on the last lap of the race now. Brando, 5.3 seconds in front. He's absolutely gone at this current moment in time. But Reese doesn't have to push at all here. He just has to keep it within 6 seconds, which is, I don't think he's going to lose 6 seconds in a lap unless something drastic happens. But he will claim a P3 finish. Tazonic goes for wets. He's got nothing to lose at this current stage. But this is going to be trying to look at kind of where all the gaps are going to be. I think, yeah, it'll be Brando P1, Andrew P2, Reese P3, 5 Crown P4, Despair 5th, I think, and then Rambo down to 6th. RSF on Hunt won't really be going anyway. He might actually lose out to Paperstream if he's not careful. But there's a lot of kind of gaps forming now. We're on a ball with him 5 crown for this current moment in time. Can he size up and move on the Alpha Tauri? Not quite close enough just yet. Oh, getting perilously close to that wall there just before the Anderson Bridge. It's Brando then, the man who didn't even think he'd be on the podium, or didn't even think he'd be finishing this race, entering the last sector now, careful as you like, on the last few corners under the bridge for the last time this race, 7.1 seconds in front. He's been a complete world of his own in this last little stint. Quick look, 5 crown on the back of Despair, doesn't need to overtake him, he will have no penalty. But Brando rounding the last corner for the Alpha Tauri. We're going to have 3 winners in 3 races. Brando has won the Singapore Grand Prix. Andrew will cross the line in P2, Rambo P3 on track but will drop right down. Reese then jumps up to P3. Despair doesn't quite get that done. It's I'll have to take off. I'll try and work it out soon, but taking off 5 seconds from 5's time. But currently P6, but that will definitely change. RSF on Hunt P7, Paperstream around the last corner in P8. Havoc, his AI is 9th, although he will go down, well, he won't be classified. At least, but Tazonic then will come home in a P9. But after that little bit of contact with Reese, spins it round the last corner in style. Perfect 360 from the Ferrari. But that has been a definitely hectic race. I couldn't agree more with that driver of the day. Brando started very low down, P15. And he's come away as he does the formal gentleman's bow on the podium. And he has won the Singapore Grand Prix. And Andrew finishing P2, Reese coming away, extending his championship lead to P number 3. Brando can't do the interview. Big sad. But we'll just get the other 2 in then. But there we have it then. So Brando P1. Hang on, there we go. I can work it out now. So 17 minus 5 goes down to 12. Yeah, so Brando P1, Andrew P2, Reese P3, 5 goes up to P4, Rambo in 5th, Despair down into 6th, RSF on Hunt 7th, Paperstream getting points in P8, Tazonic in P9, Havoc's AI coming home P10, out of the race, FRT Clark, SRL Apollo, A Bradford, 22, Allied Squire, Richard, Daleks, Eclipse, Greg Stars and Gangster Owl, all not finishing at the Singapore Grand Prix. Right, let's just get these guys in for an interview. Oh, I'm going to be stuck on this screen for I'm going to be stuck on this screen for the rest of my life. There's no advance option. Hello, right, we got 2 in. It'll only be you 2 because Brando can't make it, unfortunately.
Oh no! Anyway, moving on.
But right then, that has been a very big race of attrition here in Singapore. The podium finishes, Brando P1, unfortunately unavailable for an interview. GRT Andrew P2, and Reese on the podium once again in P3. So we'll start off with the man, 3 podiums in a row. Reese, oh, such an up and down race from yourself.
I'm so glad it's over.
Yeah, I would have had to say I'd definitely be glad that one's finally in the back pocket. It was such an up and down race. I don't even know where to start. I think I'll just hand it over to you. Give us a bit of your feelings.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start either, to be honest. I had a good start. I jumped Clara off the start, and then obviously we had a safety car within 5 seconds. And then, yeah, the rest of that intermediate stint, I had obviously my awful safety car restarts, which got to improve on them. So yeah, the intermediate stint wasn't great. medium stint, spun again. Tyres were boiling at this point, so I spun again out of frustration. Safety car come out, which was great. It's honestly the luckiest podium I think I've ever had. I just had the safety car come out all the right times I needed it. And then yeah, that last stint I tapped the wall with about 2 laps to go, so I had a bit of wing damage, which was awful. But yeah, not a great drive, but I can't complain with the podium.
Well, it's still a really good podium from you nonetheless. You've definitely got to be in them to reap the benefits.
Yeah.
You're definitely, regardless of how you got here, you're here at the end of the day, extending your championship lead over Clark by a very considerable amount, considering he didn't finish the race. So you definitely retain the Drivers' Championship lead, and there's also going to be a lovely little boost for Alfa Romeo in the Constructors, with also Taz down in P9. So yeah, definitely well done for you, P3.
Cheers.
Definitely nothing to be snuffed at.
Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations on that. Moving on then to P2. Andrew, not quite the win, but you're one step closer at least.
I'll get there eventually.
P2. Yeah, only a matter of time. But yeah, to be fair, I mean, I can't really remember a lot because it's a lot going on, but you've been in and around the top 5 most of the race. I kind of missed the opening few laps, or loads of stream issues, which was a bit bad. But you came away in the end with the P2 after getting a pretty good safety car restart and just keeping where you were, holding your ground very firmly. Although as Brando walked away into the distance, but still well held for a P2. Gives a bit of a overview of your weekend.
Yeah, I mean, P2, even P3 is better than what I probably was expecting, because Singapore was just a horrible track for me because the tyres just overheat like there's no tomorrow sort of thing, at least on the slicks. And the inters, although the tyre temps are fine on the inters, I have absolutely no wet weather pace on this game.
Well, yeah, you're still, to be fair, well held for a P2, even if you say you didn't have a lot of pace. Still, yeah, nothing to be snuffed at, even holding on just for that P2. Decent decent haul of points, there we go, so I lose the ability to speak. Good points haul for Alpine at least, also in Butler's absence. But yeah, P2, 12 points in the bag. Pretty good going, I'd say. But yeah, congratulations on your P2 finish in the end then.
Thank you.
Well, although he's not here, I'll do the outro while I look at the AlphaTauri. The car that won in the hands of Brando. The guy that didn't think he was even going to finish the race ended away with a P1, so massive congratulations to him, the absolute wet weather merchant. But yeah, that has been a pretty eventful topsy-turvy race at Singapore. Round number 3 is over. We'll be going to Baku next week. Another street circuit, back-to-back. That's probably going to be utter chaos as well. It was last season, so probably a bit more of the same, especially with the sim damage that we now run. But definitely can't wait for that one. But in the meantime, it's been another pleasure to commentate over SRL for another week. I've been Bonj. Thank you everyone so much for watching. We'll be back next week for Azerbaijan.